So I ended up buying the cleanest F350 that I could find in the entire country, but there's a catch.
Guys, the day has finally come. The thing you have all been asking for on this channel for, well, forever is finally here, and it's being unloaded right now. Wow. This truck is so clean that it will not spend a day of its life outside, and it is going directly into the shop.
Everybody and their mother, brother, and sister have been saying, Jack, you gotta build an old truck, get an old truck build, we're tired of seeing the new truck. And well, I got the one and the best old truck to build, a 1995 crew cab long bed, white with red interior, Ford OBS F350. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to an absolutely, well, first of all, it's just a beautiful day in Pennsylvania. Cutoff season, boys. I know a lot of you guys kind of somewhat disregard the cutoff. You don't get it, you don't support it, you don't rock it, it's fine. But once you join the cutoff life, boys, it's absolutely epic. And I'm grateful to say that this is kind of my uniform, guys. I mean, this is my work attire, as you see it. It's pretty casual, it's pretty cozy, and well, when you're outside all the time, which I'm also very grateful to do, you gotta keep the pits fun, boys. But anyway, all right, that's absolutely ridiculous. I just wanted to let you guys know real quick that Dream Just giveaway number 24's But just a quick reminder, guys, that Dream Just giveaway number 24, that 2022 Platinum Power Stroke, which is on air ride, and $30,000 cash is up for grabs. So if you guys want to get entered for it, tap that link below, grab yourself some entries, because who knows, you and that truck right there might have a very promising future together. And we've got an app in the works right now, which is going to give you guys even more benefit. I know lots, I mean, talking thousands of you have been asking for a mobile app, DMs, emails, comments, and it's coming. It's just, we're working on one that's gonna be rather unique to us, and I'm really excited about it. Give us about a month, we'll let you know when it hits the App Store. So anyway, guys, check out the white OBS crew cab, long bed with red interior, F350 that's here behind me. It's honestly the most immaculate truck that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm gonna get into actually why I had to make an exception on a few details of my criteria of obtaining this truck when I was trying to find this truck. Anyway, we're gonna get into that here soon. An old truck build is long overdue. We're gonna continue with the new stuff. We love working on the new stuff. It's a big blessing to be able to have as many essentially brand new trucks as we have, and they're a ton of fun. We get so much enjoyment out of it, but I really kind of wanted to change up the content in the scheduled kind of programming and of entertainment that this channel is with something old. And I was considering some other things. I'm like, well, maybe we're gonna get a second gen, but then I figured I would just leave that to Gabe Farrell because he thinks the weight reduction from a broken dashboard actually makes his black truck fast. And we're gonna have to go out of our way to remind him what a fast truck actually is, but it's okay, he's young. He's got to learn with due time. Sometimes in life, you just have to be reminded. And then I was like, well, maybe we'll go into getting ourselves a 6.0. But if you guys saw my Instagram story from when I was down in Florida just a few days ago, I said essentially the only 6.0 exception I would make is if it was an excursion. But truthfully, that wasn't old enough for the direction that I wanted to go. And then I got on, well, maybe we'll go into the 7.3 because I've actually honestly never done anything with a 7.3 either. And then I realized the answer was right in front of my face the entire time. We had to get ourselves an OBS. And it couldn't just be any OBS. I didn't want a single cab. I didn't want an extended cab. I didn't want a short bed. And it had to be white, and it had to have red interior, and that's exactly what this truck is right here, except it's actually not a diesel. It's not even a four-wheel drive. All right, so guys, before you exit this video, don't exit the video, because at the end of the video, I'm actually gonna give you guys a hint as to where this build's going to go, because it's going to be one of the firsts that I've ever seen ever on YouTube, and I'm just gonna have to leave it at that right now. It would soil the kind of surprise that I'm working on offline, behind the scenes, with a whole bunch of really badass vendors that you're not gonna wanna miss. It's gonna be really unique. It's gonna engage a whole bunch of people that are across kind of the Lancaster County diesel community, and it's going to be truly one of a kind. I'm super freaking excited. All right, so guys, this is not a 7.3 Power Stroke. I don't know if you noticed in the opening segment here, those of you that have freaking sniper eyes, because I know pretty much every single one of you do. I don't know if you caught this. It doesn't say Power Stroke right here. 7.3 Power Stroke is what it would say. This is an F350 XLT. It's essentially one of the fully loaded trims of its time. This truck was produced back in February of 1995, making it nearly 30 years old. So I had criteria when I was in the hunt for a truck, and that criteria was I really didn't want to get something that required a whole bunch of body work. And now, Sean at Peach Bottom, I'm sorry, I know you want to get your hands on this thing, in which you will, but it's not going to be for like bringing it back to life and reincarnating and fixing a whole bunch of rust, which this truck literally doesn't have any of. Rather, it's going to be, you know, somewhat spicing it up, if you will. This truck doesn't need really any major body work whatsoever. It's actually the cleanest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's 15 times cleaner than 8 Ball, which is a 2005. This is a 95. It's freaking almost 30 years old, and it still has all of the factory decals in extremely good condition here on the front radiator cross member. We're talking the air conditioner diagram and what kind of freon it takes. We're talking the serpentine belt diagram and direction. We're talking truck jacking instructions. I mean, like, everything is so unbelievably immaculate. We're looking at the gas motor in this thing. Honestly, the gas motor is eventually going to be coming out of it. So I need to explain myself a little further. But first, we'll look at the firewall. Just look. Like, everywhere, guys. I cannot stress to you how freaking mint this entire truck is. It's mind-boggling. So there's a little bit of a long-winded story as to why I ended up buying not only a two-wheel drive OBS, but also a gas version of the OBS. And that's because, one, right now, the market is absolutely insane in the world. For instance, Recoil back there, that 2022 brand new F350 Super Duty on Air Ride, the 1 of 2 kit by FlightFab, which is just an absolutely beautiful kit in and of itself. These are all over me today, bro. That truck I bought for just shy of $100,000 a year and a half ago. If it was the equivalent 2021, it probably would have been $89,000. A year prior to that, it probably would have still been about $86,000 to $87,000. Now they're trading for $105,000. F450s, Convict and Sarge, I bought for the low 80s, moderately used with only a few thousand miles on them, like less than 10,000. Those now are trading for $125,000. And same goes with the OBS market. It's kind of just like land in God's country. He's not making any more of it, so if you have it, it's only going to go up in value over time, and that just pertains to everything now, including the OBS truck. Ford's not making any more of them, and those that have good condition ones, especially the 7.3 Power Strokes, they're selling for top dollar. And I just really didn't want to pay top dollar for a truck that I ultimately was going to make an absolute massive amount of changes to, which is going to kick off the old build style truck. We're doing an old build, and we're going to literally do exactly that. We're going to build this thing to be truly one of a kind, and there's going to be another video that follows. You're not going to want to miss it. It's truthfully something that, well, if I say what I'm going to say next, I kind of give it away. But we are going to be motor swapping it. I'm just going to put it to you that way. And I'll leave all the guessing to you from this point on. So I was stumbling around on the marketplace. I saw a whole bunch of really clean 7.3s, but being that I mentioned to you what we're going to be doing, buying a 7.3 didn't make sense. So I wanted to find a truck that was in absolutely mint condition, and this is the one that I found. It was cool because expanding my search into the gas two-wheel drive market, kind of somewhat, quote, less desirable for the average person, but we're not the average person. We're enthusiasts, and we are quite a cult, to say the least. I don't really care about all that stuff right now. More or less, I just want to show you guys absolutely how beautiful this truck is. Everything is glorious. Now, we're talking sensor labels are intact. We've got wires in absolutely mint condition. Fluid caps, hoses, black plastics, even some of the metal on the motor, even the decals here on some of the sensors in the motor, the intake manifold, 5.8 liter decal on the intake manifold. I mean, we are just talking something that is almost preserved in a bubble for the last 30 years that it's been in existence. So you guys probably saw in the opening segments there, I really wanted to show you kind of all the body panels. Every single one of these fenders is legitimately perfect, solid, intact. Look at the undercarriage, guys. The wheels have no oxidation all over them. These are the original Ford 16s. They're sick. I really like them a lot. Nothing beats this look. But you guys get my point. Inside the door panels themselves, look at the door sills. They're not even dented. They have some little scratching on it, but honestly, that's better than even some of the new trucks that we've bought. Up under the doors, a little bit of paint chipping here where the sealant actually goes onto the door, but the sealant is totally intact and not dry rotted off. Like, no rust at all. Coming inside the door jamb here, immaculate. I mean, is this gonna get annoying? I don't feel like it's going to, because it just overemphasizes how clean the truck is. Look at the door sills. Rear driver door, immaculate. Gas caps, no rust. Drop in the tailgate, same thing that y'all saw. It's actually insane. It doesn't make sense at all. No rust, no rust. Same thing on this side, we open it up. Doors, flawless. Same thing here. And then the interiors. I absolutely had to get one with A, red interior, and B, that was fully electronic. In '95, it was the first year that the seat controls were electronic, front and rear windows and automatic door locks were all powered versus manual. Even the back seat, look at the carpet. Cup holder, back seats in great shape, and everything works for the most part, or at least for what I found thus far. This seat does move up and reclines forward for storage as well. I remember as a kid, I actually always used to jump in the back seat and I had to fish out the seatbelt because they would always get stuck behind. Maybe somewhat of a design flaw, but they were just focusing on how freaking sexy these things are. And you know what? It's all good. I'll take it. So I really don't know if my favorite characteristic of these trucks, there's maybe like the front and the rear, primary and secondary gas tanks. Maybe it's the fuel switch, front tank and rear tank. Maybe it's these triangular folding windows for freaking air conditioning, freedom conditioning if you will, or if it's the red interior with that XLT trim badge on the dash. I really have no idea. I just love everything about this truck. So rather than going into details about where this thing is gonna go, y'all are just gonna have to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel already, definitely tap that subscribe button below and stay on the lookout for where this thing is going to go, because truthfully, what we are about to do to it, I have not ever seen done on YouTube, and that's really why I wanted to go about doing what is my dream, classic body style, OBS Ford build that literally starts in this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
I got power window.
Okay, so the actuator's done for, but
It's got power windows.